Congratulations, you've just downloaded the complete Right First Time Hiring System, a guide for established entrepreneurs who are sick to death of wasting time, energy and money hiring the wrong people. It's going to help you to attract the right people who share your values. It's going to help you conduct a foolproof interview, and it's going to help you to try out your new hire with a really well-structured probation period. Invest just a few minutes watching this video to learn how to get the most from your new system. So let's start with a big question. How many of your team would you rehire tomorrow? Given the chance, given what you know now, how many of them would make the cut? I've asked that question hundreds of times and very rarely do I get, oh, all of my team. There's always somebody, somebody who just wasn't right, who's never been a good fit. So why does that happen? Why do we make these mistakes? How do we allow these people to be part of our team? Very often it's because we hired in a hurry. We needed to fill an immediate need. We hired in a hurry and we settled. You hire in a hurry, you make mistakes. The second main reason for problems is that you hired to a CV. You saw somebody who had a great CV. They seemed to have all the skills and experience that you were looking for. And so they were a bit quirky or, they were a bit quiet, but look at their CV. So you take somebody on based on what is written on paper, and probably because you're so taken by their CV, you don't dig really deeply, you don't dig beneath the surface enough and end up taking them into your team and then find them they're not a good fit. The third and probably the biggest reason for having the wrong people sort of drift into full-time employment is not having a structured probation. Not knowing at each stage how that person is doing, not being clear about what they're going to be trained in, giving them an easy ride because, they're new, they'll grow into the role. Very often you'll know whether somebody is right for your team within 3 weeks, let alone 3 months. And many businesses give a 6-month probation period. It's a long time to be struggling with the wrong person in your team when the right person, the person who would excite you and be excited by the role, is out there waiting for you to hire them, waiting for you to find them. They're the 3 main reasons why we get it wrong in the first place. So how can we put it right? And that's where the complete Right First Time hiring system comes in. So the first phase is attraction. But actually, there's a step at the beginning of this first phase that you really need to go through. And that is looking at whether it's hiring that you really need. That's where the decision diamond comes in. Should you be hiring or should you be training up somebody in your team? Is it possible that there is somebody in your team who would be great at this role? Or actually, is it just a short-term need and outsourcing is the best option? So the decision diamond will get you to a should we hire or not decision before you go any further. You could save yourself an awful lot of money if there's somebody just sitting in your team who's got the potential and the talent to be trained up. The next thing we want to do is create a purpose-driven job ad. And by that I mean something that attracts the right person, that inspires them to think, oh my God, that is me. That talks about the purpose of the business, that talks about the purpose of the role. This role is crucial to our success. That is such a good line to start the section with. And even if that's a forklift truck driver that's moving pallets from one side of a warehouse to the other, that's still crucial. It's still a crucial part of the team. Otherwise, why are you hiring? So the purpose of the business, purpose of the role, and then this pen portrait at the end, the talk in their language. You want that person to be reading your ad going, oh my God, what an exciting business. What great vision they've got for where it's going. Look at this role. Oh my Lord. And that pen portrait, that is me. I can hear myself saying those words. That's what you want from your job ad. You want to stand out from the crowd. Then it's about your job description. So many job descriptions are just a big long list of all of the things that the person must do, must be able to do, and will do every single day. It's like a detailed to-do list. No, you want something that talks about the outcomes. You want the person to feel, I'm going to be able to take ownership for this role. So you want an outcome-focused job description. You get all of those things in place and you will attract the right people to you. The second phase then is the interview, obviously a really key part of the process. So you don't want to be abdicating total responsibility for this to somebody else. These are going to be your people in your business. You want to make sure that they are the right fit. Preparation for the interview is so important. What are you going to do before the interview starts? What are you going to do on interview day to be ready? What are you going to do after the interview? So this is your checklist. Then the interviewer's cheat sheet. Oh my God, what am I going to ask them when in the interview? So I recommend that you take a few from each section so you get a really well-rounded interview. You want to understand what makes them tick, not just what their CV said. You want to know the detail behind the CV. How do you like to be managed? Why are you leaving your current job? What keeps you awake at night? Those sort of questions that are beyond the norm, that are very difficult for a candidate to rehearse. So you start to get a feel for who this person is. And then with the interview, your insightful interview scorecard. How did they rate in terms of the required skills, the must-have skills? And there will often be those skills in any job role. Then your gut feel. What is your gut feeling telling you? Had they researched your business? Do you have any reservations about them or their values? Are you excited about what they can add to the team? What is your gut telling you about this person? It's a really important part of the process. Really important. And you do need to not just take the surface of what your gut's telling you, but actually dig a little bit deeper. And then the values match. So in each of these boxes, you'll put one of your values and then rate how you feel they matched up with each of your values. And finally, what's your decision? Is it hire? Is it don't hire? Is it move to second interview? The insightful interview will really get you to feel as much as think about whether this person is right for your team. And ultimately, you just don't want to settle. And the third phase, absolutely crucial, and this is the one that many business owners fudge. They have a probation period, but it's only in name. It's somebody's first 3 months in the business. There's no real structure to it. There's no definite end point. So let's have a look at what a structured probation looks like. So it starts with a memorable first day. And many people have a memorable first day for all the wrong reasons. Oh, were you starting today? Oh, crikey, not sure we're expecting you. So 100% preparation, communication with the team, maybe assigning a buddy, ordering any equipment, all of that sort of stuff. Prepare. Have everybody know when the new starter is coming in. Even if they're remote, even if they're in a different country, you want everybody to know that person is starting, what role they're going to be in, and to have them ready to welcome their new teammate. Then on the first day, it should really be 70% inspiration and 30% information. So there are always going to be things that you need to go through in terms of that first day. How their probation is going to be structured, what their first 30 days training map looks like. Introduce them to the performance improver scorecard so they know how they're going to be judged on their performance and for the end of their probation period. But then 70% inspiration. You want them going home buzzing, excited, telling their friends and family, I've made such a good decision joining this business. So if your memorable first day is half a day, fine. Better for them to leave at midday feeling absolutely buzzing than to go home at the end of a long, boring day thinking, oh, right, I hope day 2 is going to be better. So memorable first day, really important. Then you want to be sharing with them what their training is going to look like. Completely mapped out. These are the things you're going to learn how to do in your first 30 days. This training map for probation puts a lot of the onus onto the person. You want to see how they respond, how they take ownership for their own development. The other really important part of this probation training map are those 30, 60 and 90-day meetings. A review of their performance where you sit them down and be really honest with them. If I was making the decision today, Johnny, you wouldn't be getting the job. I would be ending your probation because what I haven't seen from you is X, Y, and Z. Yes, you've shown but I need you to really show me that you can do this, this, and this. So those 30, 60 and 90-day meetings, crucial. Having somebody able to see what they're going to learn over the first 90 days of their life in your business, massively important. You want them to learn certain things and to show that they can do them in order for you to make a fact-based decision at the end of the 90 days. And then at the end of the 90 days, and you can use this obviously for your 30 and 60-day meetings, is your positive probation scorecard. It looks at their individual performance. It looks at how they contributed to the team. It looks at how they've demonstrated your values during their time with you. And simple assessment: exceeds expected standard, meets expected standard, does not meet expected standard. If they're staying, then you'll talk through what they need to, staying or going, you talk through what they need to improve on, because actually, as feedback for them going on to a new job in a new business, it's really nice to give them what they need to improve on, what you want them to continue doing, and then any additional comments. Absolutely crucial that at the end of this probation period, you get to a pass or fail. Not a, there's such a lovely person, I think we should give them another 3 months. Let's extend their probation. No, that's fudging it. You know in your heart of hearts whether this person is right for your business or not. Make the decision. Your business is too important. Your team makeup is too important. And we all know that having even one wrong person in your team, the effect it can have on everybody and on the standards and on the customer experience. So make a decision. You've done all of your due diligence in terms of giving them every opportunity to succeed. If they haven't succeeded at the end of the 90 days, let them go. Remember that you get who you settle for, so don't settle. As simple and powerful as this right first time hiring system is, probably the most important thing you need to understand is that this system is part of a much bigger roadmap that takes you from frustrated firefighter to that freedom from the day-to-day, from slave to your business to scale ready. What you're looking at now is that roadmap. And like the right first time hiring system, it's a clear path from where you are now to where you want to be. A proven roadmap that builds 7 business critical systems step by logical step in your operation, getting your business to reliable and consistent. I've spent many years working in a business that was fully systemized in McDonald's. I've worked within systems, I've developed high-performing teams. I was working in McDonald's at a time when they were opening a restaurant a week and needed to have managers and teams who were ready to go. That relies on having a blueprint for success. It relies on having a system in every area of your business. And for me, on reflection, and as I've worked with established entrepreneurs over the last nearly 12 years, what I've reflected on is that there are these 7 business critical systems that if you get them in place, if you get your whole team working as a well-oiled machine, they will deliver the scale that you're looking for, whether that's endless scale or just scale and growth or franchise ready or sale ready. All of these things will come from having those right systems. That's what I do with my clients. We take them on that 9-step journey to get them from frustrated firefighter to that freedom of choice that is nirvana for business owners. So let's have a conversation. And I really mean a conversation. I recognize that not everybody that has a conversation with me is going to sign up to work with me. But everybody that has a conversation with me will get value from it, because we'll talk through where you're at now, where you want to get to, the blocks that are in your way, and the exact steps that you need to be taking right now to help you get there. So let's have that conversation. Click the big button below, and I look forward to talking to you really soon. Until then, take care.